Let me check here for a quick second. Did you guys not get the broadcast as I started it? Because it's been going for about 7 minutes. Oh man, yeah. So something's going on with YouTube. I need to start back up. I'm guessing you didn't hear any of that, which is very frustrating. Again, derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This is episode number 2052. I'm sure the recording is going to be sound weird with me starting over again. Here's the summary sheet. The summary sheet, mild risk off today. Chinese and Japanese stocks are weak. Are weak this morning as as those markets, as the Japanese respond to the COVID situation, and as China cracks down on corporate on public companies. Other than that, there's not much else to say other than crude has been trending down since Friday's open and continues to do so. Crude off 2.8%, $1.86, like you see in front of you. The S&P balanced on a balanced profile currently, 176,000 contracts, which is coming in, which is well above what we would normally expect these days. The overnight inventory is 100% short with 18 points of range. So more action than we saw on Friday and Thursday's pre-open. Current point of control, 44.49 is where we stand. And then as far as key earnings, this is filtered by estimated revenue of $1 billion or more, Tencent Music and Endeavor Group. And then the key things, again, are Tesla's accident being investigated, which is likely to have an impact on the NQ. It's a major component of the NQ and is likely to be a drag on the indices. Walmart seeking a crypto director, and which is giving Bitcoin and Ether and the entire crypto complex a boost. And of course, you heard the news about what happened in Afghanistan and all that. And as I said earlier, pay attention to the rotations. The rotations are falling quite a bit. The S&P's harmonic rotation is down to 4.25. The Nasdaq has dropped from around 28 to 21.25. The Russell's dropped just a little bit to 5.0, and the YM to 35 points in harmonic rotation. So that's where we stand. A quick review of what was expected on Friday. Friday's expectation is a push to 50, from 55 to 65. The actual on Friday was 54.25 on the low and 63.25 on the high. However, it did not trend. It was basically just a zigzag that went across like that. So let's take a look at what we got on Friday. Here it is. Man, that really, I'm pushing through it, but it's really annoying to say all this stuff and have to say it again. It's just an incredible waste of time. Notice the completely balanced profile on Friday. The point of control is at 44.59.25. The volume point of control and the value area on Friday is valid. If you look carefully, you'll notice that Thursday had a multi-distribution profile with some clear low volume nodes and high volume nodes. Let me clear my throat. And we are trading at 44, 49, 47. So we are trading in this zone right here. It's going to be very important to pay attention to Thursday. Thursday is today's template day. So we need to pay attention to the high volume node at 47 even. But more importantly, we need to pay attention to the 44, 41 beneath. So you can see Friday tested the overnight low on Friday pre-open, tested this low volume node, and then the overnight session currently has tested this low volume node here. So this is Friday's overnight low, and this is Monday's overnight low, and we are holding in the middle. So this has already been validated by the market. So you need to pay attention to that Thursday profile. If we push through 41, then we are likely to push into the next high volume node. That's the expected action, and that area is somewhere between 44.37 and 44.34. So 37 to 34 would be the next area below the 41 low volume node. Remember, the 41 is the current overnight low. Key support area comes from here and from the low volume node right here. So the market is respecting day time frame levels. We need to walk into the day knowing this. And so we want to pay attention to that. Am I expecting this thing to drop out of the sky? Not at all. This is a buy the dip type of market. It'll continue to probably buy the dip. If you look at the drop this morning, we had a very strong, a relatively strong move of about 12 points down. And then we came right back to the scene of the crime and are holding below. So far in the overnight session, we've moved the point of control down, and and we've been stuck in this 49 area, 49.50 area. We're below the single prints that were left behind on Thursday at 50.51, and we are beneath the point of control and VWAP, the full session VWAP. So we're opening in this we're opening in a gap down, so that's important. The market's out of balance to the short side. We're opening in a gap down, but we're also opening in the noise of the overnight session and inside of this high volume node from Thursday. This is all kind of piecing together. So this means that we need to let the market kind of set up a little bit and figure out what it wants to do. Not seeing too much overhead. I mean, on Friday, we have some overhead at 51, 54. But once it gets above the 54, then it's likely to push to 59. The long would be in play at that point. So the overnight session, prices are lower, 100%, inventory is 100% short, so I expect a pop higher on the open, but we're opening in a noisy area. And of course, you can see the delta is off, but not by much. It's likely to rebalance pretty quickly. So that's what we've got. I had intended to show you the overall book to say there is just not much liquidity, resting liquidity in here. There was some at 60 earlier. It's just still sitting here, but the order book has been difficult to read. In case you are an order flow trader, I'm not really seeing an obvious way to measure the intent of the market. It's easier to see during the session, but you used to be able to look at the heat map pre-open and tell the intent. And the intent is resting orders that have been sitting there a long time. And the question becomes, as we approach those orders, do they get pulled or do they play out? And if they play out, generally, you have an order with some icebergs behind it. And if it coincides with an area that we're interested in, then we're looking at playing that level on a scalp. So this is the big drop here. See, it moved from stock zone to stock zone, rested for a short period, and then boom, takes it right back. This is the kind of action I'm looking for today, this morning. I'm looking for this thing to come back and tackle, as you can see here on the screen, the prior LOD at 54 and a quarter, the prior low of the session at 54 and a quarter. Large lots are sellers this morning. Very large lots haven't done much, and small lots are trying to lift the market. So not much going on here overall. And it's, I'm not even seeing big dots through the entire session. Even in the sell-off, I'm not seeing big dots. Normally we'd see big dots like you see up here. You'd see these clouds. I'd like to call them contrails or clouds of what the market is trying to do. We're not seeing that at all. So just come in with the expectation that it may be choppy on the open and take your time a little bit getting into it. Let's take a look at what's expected for today. In fact, I want to make sure you know about this. I have pinned to the top of the chat box the interview with Kelly Farrell this Wednesday. There's a webinar this Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern. I will be interviewing, this is a webcast actually, I'll be interviewing a fund manager, and the intent of this interview is to get insights. She's been doing this for 20 years. The idea is to get insights into how a fund manager thinks and executes in the S&P. She's trading S&P options, MES to fine-tune risk. She's also getting into crude. They have a day and it's generally algo-based. It's a day and swing program. I think the conversation will be very interesting for all of us to learn and see how a professional, what we call the OTF, the other time frame, participates in the market. This is sponsored by Convergent Trading. And again, Wednesday, you see the link in front of you. Go to ct.pro/fund-manager to register. Register even if you're not attending so you can get the recording. So let's take a look at what's expected for today so we can all go on our merry way here. Stock zones on, session prices. Okay, so here's what we're looking at for today. We've got VWAP and mid and the point of control in an area together on what is a balanced profile. This is a balanced market in a gap down situation. Gap rules apply. The expectation is for choppy open to make an attempt lower and then to impulse up and proceed to push to 54, consolidate at the 54, and I'm expecting it back at 59. Look at the range on that value area from Friday. The value area on Friday is 3 points. 3 points. Just incredible. Reminds me of 2015, 2016. So I'm looking forward to get back into this. So what are the key areas here? 54, 54, and then 59 to about 62. 62. Those are the key levels. Not much to expect for today. I would love to see it fall out of balance completely. Secondary scenario, open auction, attempts to squeeze higher, consolidates below the low, and it starts to accelerate lower, and then we clear the 41. So we clear this overnight stat. I'm expecting the overnight stat to be taken on the high today, but clears the overnight stat and then starts to migrate towards that 33 area. And if you recall, the prices below there are 37, 37, and 33. There's an old high at 33, and then the MC point of control at 30. The former MC point of control at 30. That's scenario 2. How do we get on scenario 2? The thing I need to see for scenario 2 to get short a structured trade is very simple. I need to see it attempt to push higher, And impulse down, the impulse down is going to be the important piece. I need to see real participation by sellers that hold a lid on prices. I'm not willing to participate in a drop that just gets bought up and I'm shorting a V bottom. Once again, those have been very, very costly over the last 3 years. So need to see some commitment from sellers. It can't just push through the 41 overnight stat, the overnight low, give us the stat and push back up. I'm just not able to commit to the short side as I can to the long side. So I'm looking for the long trade mainly, but this may be another day where it opens where we are now, 49, and ping pongs between 52 and 47 for hours and hours and hours. We got the IB stat in the last minute or so on Friday. It was terrible. Anyway, just if you don't see opportunity, it's a good time to enjoy your summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And don't stress. There's opportunity coming. It's not worth sticking your neck out for poor returns. Good luck. Don't forget to register for the webinar on Wednesday. Cheers.